asking me to tap to speak. Oh my God, I'm recording. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name's Karen. I am an ambassador with Plexus. As you know, I am Canadian, as it says on my screen here. And I am going to talk to you about gut instincts. And that's a lot more than just thinking you should be out of a bad situation and whatnot. But I'm going to talk more about our neurons in our guts, as well as how that connects to our brain in our head. So much to cover, and I get so excited because it's such a fascinating thing to me. And with me studying more integrative nutrition and whatnot, it's even more exciting for me, and I just talk too fast. So I don't know if you want to jump in and tell me to pause at any time. Please feel free to do so, because I will ramble a bunch of nonsense. But I promise you it connects eventually. Can you tell I'm excited? Okay, so did you know that we have 20,000 neurons in our guts? In our stomach, there's 20,000 neurons, and when we are in Plexus and talking about how our gut is our gut brain and so on, it is 100% true because of those neurons, and those 20,000 neurons is the equivalent of your cat's brain or your dog's brain, and that's pretty incredible. That's so incredible, and here's why. When our gut is messed up, inactive, full of yeast and other weird things happening, it affects our head brain. And between our gut and our head brain, a lot of weird stuff happens through our esophagus and our environment. And when those two things aren't connecting, it is a poop storm waiting to happen, because that's where that chemical reaction is to sadness, depression, anxiety. And if we can't control the happy feelings in our gut brain, then there's no possible way we can ever control it in our mind brain. And I would have to say that our gut is 100 times more important than our brain. Everything comes from our gut instincts. Everything we think, feel, react to, it doesn't happen in your head. Our head brain is like, it doesn't care. It doesn't know what to do. It just follows suit of our gut brain. So I think it's important to know that when you're talking to people about plexus and anxiety and depression, you need to understand that if the gut and the brain aren't connecting, then we have got major, major problems. And what I'm learning in school is that doctors are so far behind on this concept because it's not something they've ever trained in or ever knew. And the microbiome in our gut is so special and so important, just as it is on our skin as well. Your gut is always talking to you. And so we need to be more self-aware of our environments, the relationships that we're in, because that affects things. It doesn't matter where we're at in our life. If our gut instinct is off, it's going to cause everything else in our health to be off as well. I have some notes here that I want to cover. It's really important to practice things that make you feel good. Nicole does a really good job at this when she's posting on Facebook and the group. She's full of positivity, and that's really helpful because even something simple as seeing a positive quote will help somebody's gut just feel happier, and that helps in your digestion as well. So if you're unhappy and you're eating things, your stomach isn't going to digest the foods the way it normally would if your body was happy. If you're eating too quickly, you're not going to digest the foods as you would if you were happy and in a calm state. So like I said at the beginning, this is more than just a gut feeling. Everything around you is going to be the deciding factor on whether or not your body is working to its full potential. So we're the happy, healthy company. Happy company. Oh, words getting. I'm speaking Canadian right now, so ignore me. And self-awareness is huge. Like for me, as you know, I am so full of deep topics on when I post things, but I'm becoming very, very self-aware of everything that's going on around me, the people that I involve myself with, the environments that I put myself in, everything, the people I talk to, who I allow in my life, everything is full of self-awareness. And I think that's a really huge thing to practice, especially these days. I mean, the world's pretty crazy out there, and we have to be self-aware. And that also can throw our gut into a frenzy when, we get so confused about things, and sometimes we let things go when we shouldn't, and sometimes we are just like overexcited to say yes to everything. And if we can't tap into our self-awareness, then we're going to have a real hard problem with the rest of our autoimmune system, because everything is not aligned. But the whole point of the neurons in your stomach is to help control good decisions, bad decisions. It also helps you digest your food. It helps if you have eczema like I do or did, kind of, it was all a deciding factor because I didn't feel good inside. So that affected everything. It affected my sleep. It affected my mood. It affected my food choices. It affected my activity. It affected my anxiety, any kind of depression I may have felt, having no motivation. That's all in our gut. It's a gut feeling that is reacting to your whole being. And so being self-aware of that is really important. Um, if you can become more self-aware, you will also repair your immune system from getting sick all the time. Just like our supplements help our yeast go away and feel happy inside, well, we have to take it upon ourselves to allow ourselves to be happy no matter at what cost, because if you're not feeling good, then you can't be good. And that seems kind of self-explanatory, but I mean, your internal thoughts about anything you do in life really do play a role on how everything else is going to play out in your life. And our supplements are a positive thing too, but it's beyond that. I know we have customers who will say these products aren't working for me, and already before they even start, they're in a mindset of fear. And fear comes automatically when we put our brain, our gut and our brain, into a moment of survival. And if we're always second guessing everything we're doing, we will always feel like, I don't know if I can do it. We're all going to talk down to ourselves, and we can't do that as people, because you know food is important. Food is so important for nurturing ourselves, but what's even more important is the relationship you have with everything outside of food, because whatever you decide to do before you put anything in your mouth, it's going to have a huge effect on your life. A lot of people want to lose weight. A lot of people want to feel better. A lot of people want to hit the gym more, thinking that that's what's going to be the deciding factor of losing weight, drinking more water. It does, right? But if you're mentally not capable of being self-aware on what's going on around you, if it's negative, you will never, ever, ever get to the place where you're going to lose weight, feel better, clear your autoimmune issues and whatnot. It will never happen for you, because your gut brain is confusing your head brain about what it feels. And that's very important to tap into that. So we had a call a little while ago, and I mentioned about relationship building and so forth. And I think some were confused about what I actually meant. And so what I mean is that our business in general is relationships. And if we can't create a relationship away from taking somebody's money or making a profit on somebody or recruiting somebody, then we can't go very far. And relationships are huge for me. I constantly filter out people that aren't causing me to have value, and that affects my life tremendously. I notice I'm a lot happier when I don't have negative things in my life. So that includes people. So I don't want to approach any one person just because they're a human being. I want to go towards people that I align to, that I feel good about having them in my life, that I feel happy being around. I I don't want a negative energy in my life, because that's going to make my stomach hurt and my head hurt and my life hurt and my like quiet, calm surrounding hurt. And that affects everything about our immune system as well. Laughter, love, music, all these things bring people together in joy. So why shouldn't we have this in our entire life, every day, all day, to help us feel better? If your job is stressful, if your boss sucks, if you don't like the work you do. For me, I'm in the hotel industry part-time, and I left it originally because my anxiety was flaring because of the negative environment that I was in, the constant complaints every day by guests, the just negative energies around, shift workers being so tired and groggy, not eating right. And so that affected my performance because I had to listen to it and hear about it all day. And then I switched careers and I went and worked at a gym. And that was like life-changing because the environment was completely different, where it was complete happiness. People were there taking care of themselves, their mind, their body. And I was like, holy crap, had I known this sooner, I would have never been in this other industry. Because the industry that I was in hotel was so draining and negative. And I went to another area where people were so happy all the time, and that made me feel happy. So I've decided moving forward in my life, if there's ever a person who is negative, who is unhappy all the time, I'm going to ask them one time, what's going on in your life that you are so upset all the time? How can I serve you and help you? And people can get offended by that. People can be like, whatever, it's just how I'm supposed to feel at this age, 30 and up. I'm supposed to just accept my life for what it is, having physical pain, mental pain, heart pain, whatever it is. People just accept that. But when we open ourselves up to, you know, be someone that people can open up to, you're going to help them a whole lot more than just supplementation. And that is why gut is more than just a feeling. It's your overall head to toe health. And that wraps me up, because I could keep going and going and going. So if anybody has questions or wants to hone in on something I've said, please do. All I see are gray faces. What's up, Jason?
Hey, thanks for sharing.
What?
I said thanks for sharing.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Do you have any questions or input on anything I said? You're a teacher, so, I mean, you're around all kinds of feelings all day.
No, I mean, so much of a mindset is a big, kind of a big thing in education and industry across the board. So, getting your mind right and it's and then also piggybacking off of food. I mean, our kids coming in, they're eating hot Cheetos and stuff like that, and then they wonder why they're, zapped and they're have these negative attitudes and stuff like that. It's so important to their overall production and well-being that I wish that would be more of an emphasis at home. So
True. And like if you have students coming into school and they're unhappy in their home life for what's going on, like I know high school stuff, the meal of the day would be Doritos and a coffee in the cafeteria people would be eating.
Oh yeah.
And they're the most like ridiculous moods that I would see in the day. And I'm like, why are people so unhappy? What's going on? But it was home life too. And they would come home or to school just like starving and eat bad choices, but the bad choices also reflected on their personalities too.
Yeah, so true. Yeah.
I think everybody wants the easy way out on things. Everybody wants a quick fix, but when it comes to health, your mental state is everything. Completely. Picture a person who has, cancer or something, and they're always saying stay positive. They fought because of their positive mindset got them through things. So I think that's like huge to look on that's a huge example for something maybe smaller on someone else's end, but it's true. If your mindset is not right, you will just plummet in your health.
Yeah.
It won't get better.
I agree. Good deal. Well, thanks again for sharing and all that, and appreciate you offering your insight and knowledge.
Thanks for having me on. Is there anyone else who wants to say something? I don't know where Nicole went. I'm just messaging Nicole because I don't have anything else to add. If anybody else does, please feel free to comment, message, subscribe. Is that what the people say?
Yeah, I think you're good. I think people will it's recorded, so they can message you or make comments that you can.
Definitely.
Sure.
Thanks, Karen.
Who? Hey, Carly.
Hi, I'm making lunches.
You're making lunches.
Yeah.
And listening.
Good job. I need lunch.
Well, have a good night.
Thank you. You too, guys. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah. And I think if you just end it, it'll still say recorded.
Okay. Well, if anyone wants to know any more in-depth information than the time amount we have, please feel free to message me or comment below. I do a lot of health coaching and stuff now on the side for self-awareness and happiness and organization in their life to kind of get them on track with their supplementation. So if anybody out there who's listening to this or missed the call, have any questions about that, please feel free to message me, because I've had some questions lately from some people who were kind of nervous about getting into the business of Plexus, and I was trying to help these other ambassadors with those people coming in, saying like, people don't have to do the exact same thing that you're doing as long as they're showing up and doing something that feels comfortable to them. And mindset is huge for that. And so if anybody has any questions or whatnot, they like to talk with me, please feel free to come talk to me.